Okay, we have a video from Abby. Everything is AI now, so do whatever you want. 4 days ago, 9K views. Let's take a look.
Okay. Okay. I don't really know how to start this other than hello. Recently, two things have happened. Have just, I guess, really triggered like a thought stream, I guess. And I've spoken to several people about it, and I've even written it down in my journal, but I still I just keep thinking about it. Well, I guess I'll just say what the two things were, and I guess I'll say my thoughts because I just have
Give us an agenda. What are the two things? What are your thoughts? Summary, and then get into the
to, I guess,
details.
get them out into the void. But so recently I took an art history class, and
Why would you do that? Actually, I did one art history class in my college. I was a quantitative economics student in my bachelor degree, and I had to do a arts history class, and it was one of the hardest. I did history of architecture, and legitimately it was harder for me than the quantitative economics classes. Harder in a different way, I guess, since it was like the first time I'm taking an art course. I don't know, the worst, I would say. It really took me a lot of time to, I don't know, get some like average grade in it. I think I got a B at the end, anyways. But I was legitimately spending more time on it than other classes that were definitely more difficult, kind of on a universal scale.
one of the final assignments was a creative project, right? We could either write a poem
Of
based
course it is.
on a work of
Feelings.
art by
Oh.
Van Gogh, or we could create a self portrait in the style of Van Gogh. I chose to do a self portrait, and actually, I'll get it. I'll show you it. I'll show you it. Hold on. So this. Wait, I'll have to do the thing that influencers do. Hold on. So this was the self portrait that I made, right? It's not the best, I admit. And when I finished it, I wasn't really happy with it. All that we had to do, because it was a hybrid class, then you would get your grade, and then presenting it to the class was optional. So I had already gotten my grade, and like I said, I wasn't really happy with the way that it turned out. So I wasn't going to present it to the class. That was until a classmate of mine went ahead of me, and what she presented was an AI photo of herself in the style of Van Gogh. And it was like she didn't even try to hide the fact that it was just straight up AI slop, right?
Well, I mean, like, it's actually more problematic if that person hides the fact that it's AI. I think one thing that is being pushed in the classroom, at least universally, from faculty who are pro AI and faculty who are anti AI, if they agree on anything, they would actually agree on that one thing, which is be transparent. Actually attribute your work. So if you used AI, you kind of actually want to say you used AI and not present it as if it was kind of yours, fully yours. And yeah, so it's gonna get on her nerves, apparently. I haven't watched this before.
Right. And I was honestly beside myself because, like, how do you, I don't know, like, just how do you think that that is, first of all, how do you think that that is an acceptable thing to turn in to an art history professor? Like, this woman has a doctorate in art history, but just like, how can you justify that in your mind? And I was really frustrated listening to her.
So you got frustrated on behalf of the professor. That's actually smart. That tells me that you seem to have, well, first of all, you seem to have some empathy, right? So that's good. That's smart. That's emotional, well, a component of emotional intelligence. And the second thing is, what is it? If you get if you get offended on behalf of a professor, I think you yourself should consider being a professor because you seem to have that appreciation of, I don't know, the intellectual pursuit and being transparent with your work and actually trying to provide groundbreaking work that is authentic. So I think these are two indications that you might actually like such a career. And the fact that you're doing YouTube videos tells me that you're able to are able to synthesize different tasks into one kind of whole product, finished product. So I think, I think you should really consider it.
Kind of, I guess, justify it was in the middle of the heat wave here in Europe, and I live in Germany. My house has no air conditioning, so it was like 96 degrees in my house. The Zoom call was at 6 p.m. So I was already like, my brain was already mush for the day. I had to sit here on this freaking Zoom call and listen to this woman talk about how she had to type in prompts to get the image that she wanted. And how, no, actually, it was very similar to Van Gogh, and it was really interesting. What are we doing? Like, what are we doing? And then, but it just made me so mad. I was like, how dare you screen share this? I felt like my classmates deserved to see like real human art.
I see, yeah, your point of people deserving, if you sign up for a class with other humans, you kind of want to see human work, not AI work, because the AI agent or the chat bot is not the student enrolled in the class. You're not taking a kind of a mixed level or mixed kind of carbon slash silicon beings class, right? You're actually just taking a class with humans. So why do you have to listen to some AI stuff that, or any artificial stuff that you could have created yourself had you wanted to?
Even if it's not perfect, even if it was about all the time, but for me, like the people in my circle are very much like creatives, very much artists, very much do not like generative AI. So it was just kind of,
Yeah, this is actually common with a lot of creative people who also have a huge appreciation for the creative process. A lot of business people like me, for example, we come from business backgrounds, business slash entrepreneurship, whether it's practical in the real world, like, you're a consultant or you're whatever, or a business coach, or if you are a intellectual, like an academic, both actually to some extent like AI in general, because it helps us ship things really quickly. And it's, we're always interested in minimizing human labor because it's very expensive. It's a direct labor, right? In accounting and business administration is very expensive. It's a thing, it's a variable cost. Every time you sell an item, you have to pay the variable cost. So it keeps growing with production levels.
like a shock. Like I was so taken aback to see this kind of
Well, believe me, it's not going to be the only time. It's only the first time. So you'll get used to it.
unabashed use. It turns into disappointment when the schedule that they release is AI slop. So, but it was just so disappointing to learn. Like, you have this entertainment company who is one of the biggest in Korea, SM Entertainment, and they're resorting to, like, they used to use like practical effects and have real set designers, and it was so cool. And
Yeah.
why do we continue to self-deprecate when AI has made it increasingly clear that human skill and the ability to improve through, I guess, passion and willingness and hard work is infinitely more valuable than being perfect immediately?
I don't know about that. I mean, I think it's a personal, I guess it's a personal decision. And some people would want to lose weight right away. And, you know, if you're an athlete who's gone through, you know, a lot of training sessions in your life, and you've gone through, you know, dieting, and you've gone through many different, you know, phases of like building strength, building, you know, your flexibility, building your stamina, building your actual technical skills on the ball, or, you know, building the ability to have like, you know, physical contact with other people, building the mental aspect of the game. I mean, like, you know, some people just want to lose weight, so they'd rather take a pill or they'd rather take an injection rather than caring about a sport that will motivate them to lose weight and stay healthy so that they can enjoy that specific sport. So, you know, I like fully understand where you're coming from as a creative, because you place a lot of value on the creative pursuit, and it's a pursuit. So it's cliche, but I guess it's more about the journey than the destination. For many people, for most people, they have not, their lived experience has not elevated or transcended the daily kind of rewards, material rewards, such as, you know, I just want to make more money, right? So I can afford the new iPhone. And so, you know, so they're not really going to care about the infinitely more valuable um, journey that is better than the perfect, immediate result that they can get with AI. Some people really just want to wear, and you know, they could spend time to create it or learn how to create it, or they can just use this tool to like do it for them. Kind of in the same way, by the way, that, you know, some people create scripts for videos. So, and apparently people respond to that. Like, a lot of people like these quick 1 minute videos. Kind of actually hurts them in the end. It hurts their attention span. It hurts their appreciation for longer pieces of materials. It makes it difficult for them to focus in school or on the. I mean, that's what they respond to. So, at least from the point of view of the creator or the producer who's just trying to, I don't know, maximize their profit, that's what they have to respond to. There's a clear demand for things, tools that help you make finished products, even if they're not secure, even if you don't really own the entire product in the end, even if it leads to problems down the line, even if it takes away a huge portion of who you are as a person, namely your agency, your creativity, your ability to write, to some extent, write your own story, personal story. Well, all stories are personal, at least for us. You know, that's, some people just want the reward without having to spend a lot of effort on it. So yeah, I think overall I like this person. I'm gonna actually put a comment here saying that I made a video reaction to her video. Um, I hope I was not overly negative. I guess it's just another opinion. But I actually enjoyed the whatever number of minutes I watched this. I was watching it the first time here. I didn't watch it beforehand. But yeah, I'm curious about what she does and how she's gonna grow. Looking forward for the next video. So I'll see you on the next one.